Today is July 30th, 2026. Okay. Yesterday, I had an appointment down in Cambridge, Ohio. It's over an hour away. Okay. Do you know there was people down there trying to pull the scam of the chip? Heard them talking off around me. It's like, shut up. See, that's where these people in their Twilight Zone crap. And it is Twilight Zone. But, in reality, we all know they were there. The government's had them since before 2000. And it's just like they outlawed it in 2008. I got the U.S. Supreme Court ruling. See, that's where, in their Twilight scams, okay? If you want to say something shitty, I will find the law that stops it and then how everything works about it. I research everything. And it works like a hearing implant. For deaf people, goes right into the brain and picks up the sounds and communicates into the brain through that device so that they actually hear through the device, not their ear. And it works about basically the same way. I researched it. Except for it goes under your scalp and it sits in a different part of your brain. But the thing of it is, I did so much research. And it's really disgusting. And please stop wasting my time. I was a little banker, little loan processor, now a home health aide. I research everything, how things work, how they're removed. Believe it or not, it only takes an hour. Got someone's skull open, put it in, expand it out, surgically glue it back down. Disgusting. I watched it. I learned how they take it back out, same way. It's disgusting. It's not even funny. And then I found the law. What stops it? U.S. Supreme Court of 2008. It's against all human basic dignity and rights. They actually tried it in Guanaco Bay with 4 people. 1 died. The other ones had it removed. And the U.S. Supreme Court's outlawed it. And those agents went to jail. So it's against all basic human rights and all human dignity. We also have the right to remain quiet, so it makes it not admissible. And then it's considered terrorism. Okay? And, but it works just like, basically like a hearing implant that goes in the back of someone's head into the brain. And that device picks up and turns the sound into the brain and transmits it straight into the brain. But what was bad, I did so much research on that stuff. You can actually frame somebody because, like, the hearing implant takes it in while the other one goes in and out, so you can frame people. And it's just like, I do not wear a lab coat. I am not a techie person. I should not have to waste my time looking up nonsense. It's not that it can't be done, but it is an act of terrorism. So I have a dent in my head. And it should be 12/21/18. If not, it's before Christmas of 18. Okay? Stabbed in the neck. Foggy, hazy, dark, bright light. Felt myself cry. Out for 6 hours. Okay? Had a dent in my head. I had bruises on my neck. Bruises on my neck everywhere. And there is legal police surveillance of that time with the court order for a threat and attempt to life case for an FBI informant. What do I think happened? They stabbed me in the neck, and I think they hit me with a hammer in the back of the head. And they made up that scam to cover up the attempted murder. It should have killed me. Get the idea? And where the bruises on my neck, where they tortured me, say this, say that, say this, say that, or else, and they smother, beat, rape. Yeah. Okay. Where they had been drugging me and telling me to say stuff and laughing in my face in front of the FBI and police since the first month. How they framed me before. And they try to bullshit them like they're stupid. That they could actually have sodium pentothal reports. Like they said they couldn't get it. And then by Christmas, they admitted they were using Z drugs on me that erase your memory as it's happening. And if you look up Z drugs, it is the hypnotic drugs they admitted last year they used on me when they drugged me and told me to say it before. They admitted that Dave and Melissa were in it together. They came up with this. Okay, so that they both get everything in the divorces. And that I wouldn't be able to help my son John when she went for full custody. They announced in 18. Those original drug dealers, Dave was rude to them. That's where that tape that I said, you know, if you're basically a piece of shit enough to hire someone to frame somebody and then kill them, and no offense, Mafia, none at all, don't want retaliation, no offense, but if they hire someone like a Mafia to go in and do this con on somebody and then kill them, you don't boss the Mafia's guys around, they'll kill you. Are you fucking crazy? You don't make those kind of people mad. You back away slowly and get out of there quickly. You don't make, they kill people. Are you fucking crazy making those people mad? Like they said, my ex-husband, arrogant asshole, fucking bastard. Would he like us to do this to him? We used these drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. Dave was involved in it in the house. Him and Melissa were in it together, coming up with this. Make sure they both get everything in the divorce. She wouldn't be able to help John when she went for full custody. Z drugs erase your memory as it's happening. It actually causes chemical sleepwalking. Now, don't act like you don't know what a roofie is. Don't even act like that. You don't know what LSD is. They've had hypnotic drugs, hallucination drugs, amnesia drugs for over 60 years. Now they have the Z drugs, and there's a whole list of them, that cause sleepwalking with no memory. And that you can walk, talk, eat, drive a car, have sex, and you'll never remember. You're basically walking around stoned. What you consider stoned. You're just, you're, okay? But when it wears off, it makes you nauseous and a real bad metal taste in your mouth. And trust me, you barf. They did it to a U.S. Marshals kid twice. She don't know what happened to her. She moved out of this area for safety. They did it to my co-worker, Dar, and she don't even remember meeting those people. And she was raped and redressed, and she's raising somebody's kid she never met. They did it to my neighbor, Mike, and while he was still under the drug, he didn't know how he got home. He was starting to freak out because it's starting to wear off. Tried to tell me he was a New York cop and thought I was pretty. He was stoned out of his mind. He didn't remember talking to me. I could have told him to say anything. Do anything. Didn't know how he changed his shoes. Didn't know how he got money in his pocket. He had been driving around. Yeah. With no idea what he was doing. See, those drug dealers played with me and laughed how they did it in 18. And they said, we have code words. We've even told her to remember stuff. The guy's like, no way. He said, we can control people. And they told Bay Family Church they could control anybody for 4 to 6 hours with those drugs. Okay? They told people. They were there breaking in front of 3,000 people. One Walmart, I'm sitting on a bench. The guy comes in, he's bringing that again. He said, "You want to watch me?" He went, "Remember?" And then he said something. I could finish the sentence. And I looked up at it. It just like clicked. He started laughing. "I told you we couldn't control her." And one of the officers that worked my case, "I'm tired of those people playing with her. They played with me big time." One of their scams is FBI agent John let his girlfriend's father that he trusted break in her home and set up body cameras. Okay. You mean the Henry Mauvie guy that said he's trying to pull a fast one on the FBI and steal all the case's money for himself? That guy? Yeah. The one admitted he never met me in person? Do you know what is a jail sentence for an FBI agent letting his girlfriend's father set up button cameras in a private home, stalking someone? They are immediately fired from the FBI. 5 to 20 years. Without the drugs, taping in the bathroom, the photoshopping and washing. Selling kiddie porn of my grandkids going potty. Having me beat and raped under drugs. Drugged and told to say stuff, apparently. Where I had bruises, throwing up. Severely infected. They were human trafficking me out of that. Where, like the investigator said, it was a human traffickers in her home. Like Officer Mark said, it was a drug cartel. Like Agent John's girlfriend admitted they hired drug dealers to do it. Get the idea. Now, in 21, there's supposed to be 3 versions of the tapes before. One with no wrong saying and no wrongdoing, simply wiping off water with clothes on. Just brush it off. That's what they told the nurse March 13th, 21 at Mercy Medical. Okay? Just that's all they had was me simply brushing off water with clothes on. Okay? Then they made up the scenario of being completely naked, look like you're weird with yourself, and it's a complete shower scene of washing yourself in the other room. It's supposed to be in front of people. Naked, like nobody would know. And drugs and told to say horrible stuff. Okay? Then there was supposed to be a third one. Now this is just asinine. Asinine. Supposed to be washing in the shower with clothes on. That's just stupid. I mean, think about it. You can touch any part of your body with clothes on. Any part with clothes on. And to Photoshop somebody washing themselves in the shower and Photoshop clothes on them, that's asinine. The whole thing is asinine. Asinine. Think of bathing suits. What do? You get out of the pool, out of the water at the beach. What do? You pull your bathing suit out of your front, your butt, your crotch, and you adjust your boob. Where do you dry off? Everywhere. Think of men. People pulling out wedgies everywhere. Do you know the law is you have to touch yourself like 3 minutes before you even have to explain? Because why? You could be miscarrying. You could have a kidney stone. You could be what? Let's see. You could have anything wrong there, medically. You could, anything. You could be what? Have a catheter? People are human and you have clothes on. As long as you don't purposely expose yourself, you're good. You get the idea how asinine they are. Then they went around and said the drug dealers and human traffickers, the strippers, and the prostitutes are getting even with her. No, they're the ones pulling the scam. I looked up what is a scam of if you help out, you can get millions of dollars out of the government and extort it from it. Do you know the scam comes from Nigeria? It's called the 419 scam. See, I thought it would come up Ponzi scheme. But it's the Nigerian scam. They call it the hook, the rush. But it's called the Nigerian scam. It's a 419. Tricking people into helping out with a offer of tens of millions of dollars extorted money from government. Okay? It comes from Nigeria. Okay? See, I thought it would come up Ponzi scheme, but nope. Yesterday, now I know my car's bugged, and these idiots keep selling the login. So we have to go past Dover, New Philly area. So I start talking about these idiots last year. How they have to find somebody dumb enough to arrest her. Somebody stupid enough to do it, that open FBI case. Seems like no law enforcement would dare touch her with that FBI case open. And all the people they got on her are got off of those cases. Because they even know they arrest a lot of people. Okay? Seems like Louisville don't know, so they went to Louisville. They found the case. May 30th, 25, 1 o'clock in the morning outside with that lady. How she was trying to trick Dixie and Melissa to put their name on it so they got arrested. And that they found the surveillance of the cartel May 20, 2625, Walmart 62. Oh, this whole thing is a scam from the Freemason of the Dirty Doctor not being one of hers, works for them, and they had lied. The whole thing's a scam. Then they found the original case. My ex-husband hired 2 men on his own. One was saying he's an attorney, so it's legal. No, it's not. It makes it worse illegal. What is a jail sentence for an attorney hired by a husband to set up buying cameras in a private home, stalking his wife without her knowledge or consent? Disbarment 5 to 20. Sorry to privacy. Where they run around town. See, those strippers, and this is where it's they have been using strippers and prostitutes to run around, go in places, dressed like strippers and prostitutes. Now, strippers and prostitutes, you can pick them out in a crowd. You can pick them out in a crowd. Normal people, you walk in a business. Do you have a sports bra on? Only? No. Even young girls would have a thin t-shirt on. Just cap sleeves. May have a tiny pair of shorts on, but at least to cover the essentials. But they don't walk in a sports bra. Huh? And they don't, you can pick them out in crowds by the way they dress or don't dress. Normal people may wear shorts, they may wear tank tops, they may wear sports bras, but then they'll have like a thin t-shirt over it to go in a business. They don't show off everything. But the strippers and prostitutes, you can pick them out in a crowd. And they send in strippers and prostitutes to convince people with a normal IQ, that they don't have rights. And they are, FBI agent John said she can't say nothing. Nobody can help her. She can't get her money. He can't say that. It's blackmail and attempted murder. Even the sheriff said they knew he couldn't say it. Prosecutor's office. It's a constitution, you dimwits. See, the prostitutes and drug dealers and the strippers are trying to teach everyone they don't have any rights. Why? Because they want to con you too. And they think you're so stupid, they can send in a pretty prostitute or stripper dressed provocatively and say, Agent John trusted his girlfriend's father to let him break in her home. What is a jail sentence? 5 to 20 years, immediately fired from the FBI. You want to make up another scenario. What is a jail sentence? For an FBI agent telling an informant they can't say anything. It's blackmail. Obstruction of justice, tampering with a witness. There's also mercy laws. You can't silence a victim. What is a jail sentence for a judge if they would sign a court order taking somebody's constitutional rights away? They would both get 20 to life for blackmailing people and stealing. What would they be made to do? Pay them back. Every dime. The county and everything, they would have to pay them. And they go to jail. What is a jail sentence for an FBI agent telling an informant they won't have protection? If they say anything, it's attempted murder. It's aiding and abetting crimes. Obstruction to justice and tampering with a witness. And then there's Hobbes laws. In the constitutional right of the 14th Amendment, you cannot withhold protection from any U.S. citizen in any jurisdiction. You cannot withhold protection. It is a federal crime of attempted murder and aiding and abetting crimes, and they're held personally responsible for that person's injuries. It can be 20 to 30 to life. What is a jail sentence for a judge signing it? Same. The only thing they can sign in a witness protection program, and the only, it's even on Google, they can put your money immunity, automatically those two. Every informant gets paid. Your immunity for life for getting them information. It's only for getting them information. Okay? They can add living, housing expenses, and a medical card. There's not a prostitute clause. Letting your prostitute's father break in a home, run a con on somebody, make fun of him on a recorded line, that it's his prostitute's dad that they don't know about running a con on him because he's so stupid. That was a big mistake, Agent John. For we could always use Pete's tape of weird with yourself. What are you talking about? Said something about him, and I thought, why is he laying on my brother? It's the only Pete I knew. Huh? Then he says, well, I bet you're going to say you don't know anything about this doctor for sexual disorder. That's disgusting. At that point, I had to catch my breath because I wanted to yell at him, why don't you stop lying? Then I thought, well, I had some other lady use my insurance for 15 years. Half my medical records are hers. And the FBI got it out of Dave. It's another one of his girlfriends. I thought maybe it was one of her. But no, when you find out who the dirty doctor is, it's his girlfriend's dad again. The one that admitted he never met me in person. That's why he was laughing. Do you know, okay, when you talk to somebody, they laugh. Sometimes people laugh because they're nervous. Okay? Because they're scared. And it's a scared giggle. Sometimes people laugh when they can't even believe what they're saying out of their own mouths because they're lying so bad. Where he was chuckling at me, he knew it was a scam. He knew I didn't know his girlfriend's dad. He knew it was a shower scene. He knew he wasn't my doctor. Because it's his girlfriend's dad that I admitted he never met me in person. January 1926. He was part of the whole scam to steal from the FBI. It's that bad. See, I was talking to Carl on the way back up to Dover yesterday. We went in the gas station. People walked in. They were trying to say that girl is a judge's daughter. We found out she's a prostitute. And then he thinks we're all dumb and stupid down here. That's why they're trying it. Yeah. Somebody dumb enough and stupid enough to arrest her. Now, we're going to put it this way, idiots. What is the law if a federal agent walks in with stocking tapes with his girlfriend's dad and says, I want you to do something with this? What are they supposed to do to that agent? Call the FBI. We're arresting him. He needs fired by law. He can't have his girlfriend's dad break in private home, set up cameras. It's a felony invasion of privacy and cyber stalking. They are to arrest him. You can't enter stalking tapes. Like Walter from the prosecutor's office, they made the biggest mistake they did at your home. It's a right of privacy. And then, you know what they do? They try to convince people where they drugged me and told me to say stuff before. And like the investigator said, we always knew she was drugged. When they drugged her and told her to say it before. And parts of it sounded mechanical. You could tell they altered it. And that tape of weird with yourself, you could tell she was showering. It was Photoshop for showering. See where you think the cops and the FBI are dumb? They're not. And it was done by who? The human traffickers. And what is amazing, they're trying to say, the pimps and the prostitutes and the strippers getting even with her. She's weird with herself. The shower scene in the other room. Trying to prove their scam is real. And they try to brainwash people. You didn't know about it, but you're going to go along with it, right? We have the right to do these things to you. We have the right to break in homes. No, you don't, you crazy, crazy people. Drug people for fake confessions, Photoshop, and we have rights. We can steal from the government. It's like, you psychos, you do not. Do you understand? And like the guy in the gas station, there isn't a prostitute clause. Oh, and they're supposed to have a fake court order, and as if people wouldn't know it was fake. Where Chief Bruce Lewinsky went on the news up in the Ravenna area, Portage County, and there's people that are complete scum. Running around with fake court orders, fake arrest warrants, imposters of law enforcement, him, agents. Trying to scam people out of money, and they scammed some guy up there out of $18,000. This is where these people are from. And what isn't funny is that church, that Katie, it's her family member that's messed up in the cartel. Where her mom always complained that they were messed up in drugs, her family. And Henry Mauphy's, that girl's dad. That's why that church is involved. Do you know where the case first started? Within the first week or two, I went down to John's church. They were down there. People were down there threatening them. And my phone was legally blocked. Anyone tells them what we're doing. Anybody tries to help her, we'll pick out one of you to do it to next. Do we understand? Get the idea. You know, I taped Dave. And so did the police. I confronted him. Okay? Where those two drug dealers that said they work for the drug lord showed up and said that Melissa was willing to help on my ex-daughter-in-law. She was willing to have the kids lie. You're kidding. No, I told her. Walmart 62 in front of the cops on Pets. Okay. So they followed her around. Before Thanksgiving, she got caught with Agent John's girlfriend, being friends with her, the one that's laughing how they hire drug dealers to do all this. And they photoshopped that shower scene in the other room. You do realize that Agent John, your own girlfriend, ratted you out. The one you have to pay to date. The Michelle. You do realize that, right? Right in front of the Stark County Sheriffs. June 26, 26. Came in Dutch Valley Restaurant. Well, who do you think's around me? People, when they say, who would have thought there was undercover sheriffs in here? There's a court order from a Stark County judge. They have to follow me around and document everything for the FBI case, you twits. I have, what, a sheriff, a local, state patrol, U.S. Marshal, or another federal agent. Informant. Come in. It's my family doing all this to steal from me. We're teaching her a lesson because she's a faker. Not a faker, almost died from medical malpractice. This document, I almost died. Where I had all those surgeries, 6 to 10 surgeries, my muscles clenched. Went to a bunch of crackpots, gave me a bunch of wrong medicine. In over almost 2 years, my whole body swelled up. Thyroid, adrenal gland shut down, and I was having seizures and heart attacks. And they were lying so bad, they even said I had level 2 brain tumors and needed my pituitary gland removed. I went to my community health. They're like, whoa, we need to have a long talk what those doctors are doing. They're known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping them off, making them sick, getting kickbacks from the drug companies from the wrong drugs they're giving you, sharing with associates and friends, doing the same thing now, wanting to do an unnecessary procedure, get an attorney and sue them. We'll represent you in court. They have defrauded you and almost killed you. It's medicine making you sick. The only thing's wrong with you is your muscles locked up. Dr. Eli agreed. And put me on fentanyl patches, muscle relaxers, and Vicodins. And over 9 months, learned to walk again as the swelling went down and the seizures and heart attacks stopped. Thyroid and adrenal glands started working as the swelling slowly left. And it's documented fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors that almost killed me. Strange only made up that lie in November 2003 when he thought I was following Tim and Katie. And he pushed my kid to suicide. Get the idea? It was Linda following her husband. Now, we're going, and so she's in there. Is my family stealing everything from me because she's a faker? The drug dealers we hired to do this to her taped her in the shower washing herself, photoshopped out in the other room to make her look weird with herself. They were making fun of her. His own girlfriend ratted him out. We're the Stark County Sheriffs. I had to take a client to church on July 5th, 26th. That girl laughing in the restaurant, she stole all your money, that agent's girlfriend has to pay today. What did his girlfriend say they hired? Drug dealers. And they photoshopped that. The investigator had already told other people she's a prostitute. Well, he has to pay her to date them. They make you pay to date them. And we all know that agent didn't have the authority to ask you to stay quiet, and it would have been, it is considered blackmail. And no judge could sign it. We thought he was only acting that way to get the drug dealers till he showed up at that other courthouse with those people and trying to get the case thrown out. Now we know he is actually working with the cartel. And he stole all that money in front of us. The FBI needs to be arresting him. What are you waiting for? They know he can't tell me I can't say anything. It is blackmail. See, that's where no judge could sign it. Because it's a freedom of speech. Do you know a judge can only put a gag order on you in a jury trial? Cops can't tell you you can't say anything or they'll steal your money. Come on. Or we won't protect you. And then he's already told the Apostolic Church of Barberton. And then admitted he had everybody in his office. And they already knew. On a recorded line. And then it's federal crimes and obstruction and tampering and blackmail. And no judge could sign it. And where they're saying, they have a judge's order. They get all our money because she said something. No, they don't. No judge signed that. That is a piece of fraud. Just like the scam that they're supposed to have my medical records, showing them to the public. My God, that's HIPAA. See, these people are so dumb, they don't even know what HIPAA is. That your doctor could be with the drug dealers running a scam on you. And that they can give out your medical records and work with drug dealers to destroy you. They go to jail for that shit. They can't even discuss you with your spouse without your consent. They cannot release records without their consent. In the HIPAA laws, they cannot even get your medical records and try to use them against you. It is a federal crime. They can't even break in your home and steal them and try to use them against you. An individual would go to jail. Your medical records and your treatment are covered by the right of privacy and a HIPAA laws. And your doctors cannot speak about you. They can't talk about you. They can't give your medical records out. It's probably the fake paperwork to make it look official. It's not true about her. The guy wrote it up, didn't like her. And yeah. And the originals already admitted that one that they said was the dirty doctor from before worked for the Florida drug cartel, and by January, March of 19, he never met me in person. Where I found out it's that weird Henry Moffey that showed up January 1926, admitted he never met me in person. Found out he's that guy Pete. That is who? Agent John's girlfriend's dad. That is a drug dealer and she's a prostitute. And they were the ones running a con on me to steal from the government. But you wouldn't believe, ever since 18, I've had strippers, prostitutes follow me around. And you can pick them out because they're dressed so sleazy. Normal people do not dress like that in public. You walk into an office, you don't even walk around the mall like that. Teenage girls, they may wear tank tops and stuff, but they cover the essentials. Even shorts. A lot of times, if they have a sports bra on, they have a thin t-shirt over it with a cap sleeve. They don't just walk around with a sports bra. And they don't run around in things that you can show that you would either be in a gym working out or on a beach. Get the idea? Normal people don't dress like that. And these strippers and prostitutes walk into normal-minded people. You have the right to do these things. Agent John had the right to hire his girlfriend's dad to break in her home. No, he didn't. Right on Google. The FBI agent be fired immediately. See, that's where, how dumb are they? See, that's where, if they walk into a courthouse, I allow my girlfriend's dad to break in people's home. What are they supposed to do? Arrest him and them immediately. We got a doctor working with us. They're not allowed to work with them. It's another HIPAA violation. See what I mean? And that's where these people, okay, we're on Thanksgiving of 18. Mel's kids were taped saying that they wanted the house for Agent John's girlfriend. Or she thinks she can steal from everyone. And for Auntie Shaw and Papa. Okay? And later on, Florida, that they made everything up. They were games of pretend. They're documented mean games of pretend. To verify everything. Because I didn't know what the mean games of pretend were for a year. If Laura wouldn't have stated them, I wouldn't have never known. Okay? Because like they said, Melissa's so stupid, she made everything up when you were fishing with Dave. She's that stupid, she didn't check where you were. Okay? Told you at Brielle's first party, October 23rd, 2019. Do you know how mad I was when I heard those kids say that? About the, Auntie Cheryl. She's like, that's not what they said. They said this. It was filthy. Make up something, call me a bad word. My God, that's all they tell me. I would have spanked them all. I don't care what's going on, but you got to think it's pimps and prostitutes. And strippers. Where all this fucking shit's coming from. Boar's like, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. They were games of pretend. The documented mean games of pretend. I would have splinked them all. Okay? And the police and the feds have called them out several times. They have taped them all saying they were lying and the games of pretend. They look Melissa up in different towns. It is documented on her record. She has documented me games of pretend. Well, since I didn't know what was going to be said, I taped Dave. And so the police and FBI. See, we only seen John's kids usually on the holidays. They had big careers, friends, social lives. Unless they needed something, I only seen them on the holidays. John called all the time, though. But to bring his family over, holidays. So that's where on Christmas of 17, we had dropped off their Christmas gifts like the day before, and we went back, and they were having buffet dinner, and we asked them if they liked the bikes we dropped off. Why would we thank you? Some other lady in the church bought them. They took off our name tags. Took credit for it. Made fun of Dave for having pot in his system. We didn't do drugs, but he was running with drug cartels. I didn't know about it yet. And he got suspended. Right? And that was 2017. I didn't see Melissa again. I think in the video I said March, but March is when we put the house out for sale. We didn't take John's stuff over till a few days before we moved out. So it would be like the Monday before. And her and John broke up 10, 20 times, way over 10 times in 10 years. One time they were apart for over a year. They were horrible. They were toxic to each other. He called me, she's leaving me again, don't say anything. Look, she's packing through the window. We can see her, and she comes out, hi, what are you doing here? And we're dropping off John's stuff. Oh, put it against the house. Kids come running out, smiling, laughing at us. And hi, and then run off chasing each other because they're little. And then I seen them on the 4th, and when they came in, sat down, I took a picture of everybody on the couch, and they took 2 bites and ran to the basement. On pillow fights. I'm outside with everybody else. About 40 minutes later, we go in to get dessert, and they leave through the garage door. Didn't see him again until the FBI was out. Oh, I take that back. We did see him right after we moved out, within a couple of days, down at Maslin Walmart inside. They ran up to us. Guamo Popo, what you doing here? Buying currents for the basement. What are you doing? I don't know. A moment of time past each other. I hadn't seen him 4 or 5 minutes in a whole year. And not alone. Dave verified it. I said, so what on earth would they have said? He said, don't worry about it. John will take care of it. Melissa's just making up stuff because she thinks we're going to go through a divorce. You haven't moved out yet. Da 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 da. And she's, John will take care of her making up stuff. And I went over, how I hadn't been around anybody in a year, not alone. And only seen him 4 or 5 minutes, not alone, for a whole year. We were, and I said, Dave, I've never hurt anyone. He said, Karen, you're good to the kids. You're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. He defended me several times on a couple of different tapes. Defends me several times. Why? Because I expected him to. But he defended me totally. And do you realize how big of a bitch move to have drug dealers? Now, if he just wanted his freedom, go. Go. We just bought that house. We owe every dime that's on it. So basically, they would just make me give a little bit of money because he still owes all that money on it. I would have got alimony, half the furniture, half what was left in his 401k, half of it, and that's it. And went on my way. He wanted the prostitutes and strippers, then divorce me. Make it right. Do you hire those drug dealers and prostitutes and strippers to run a con on me? No. It's disgusting. Having drug dealers break in a private home, set up button cameras, sell your grandchildren on porn sites. They did. They sold me on porn sites. Have your poor wife beat and raped under drugs, and the poor thing is so drugged up, thinks it's the dirty well water she showered in. And while she's drugged up, to drug her up and tell her to say stuff. As a bitch move to make sure you can get everything. Photoshop washing while the drug dealers are playing with your poor wife. And she's so sick, she's losing all kinds of weight, throwing up, thinking she has cancer. Going to the doctor, what on earth is wrong with me? Here's drug dealers playing with her. Now, ever since 18, they run around the prostitutes and the stripper. They send the strippers and the prostitutes in to convince people with a normal IQ that Agent John can allow his drug-dealing girlfriend's father to break in people's homes. No, he cannot. He trust him. Trust him what? To drug, beat, and rape people and run a con on them? He can't. It's automatic termination out of the FBI. It's right on Google. Have drug dealers Photoshop washing in the shower and then use hypnotic drugs that cause sleepwalking and drug them up and tell them to say something horrible as a bitch move so they wouldn't know. You know, like I said, they did it to a U.S. Marshals kid twice. You don't know what happened to her. They did it to my neighbor Mike. He didn't know how I got out of the bar. He didn't know how I got home. Didn't know how I got changed his shoes. He didn't know how he got money in his pocket. And then he tried to look at me and tell me he was a New York cop and thought I was pretty. It's like, dear God, you're stoned out of your mind. Go sleep that off. He didn't remember talking to me. I could have told him to say anything. He's stoned. Those drugs make you chemically sleepwalk. And the dangers of using them, because you have no memory. They did it to my co-worker, Dar. She was taken and raped. She's raising somebody's kid she's never met. Said it's not that I don't love my son, but I don't know what happened to me. And these strippers and prostitutes and drug dealers trying to tell people the FBI allows them to break in people's homes. You have no rights anymore. And you're stupid enough not to call the cops on them. And they try to convince people where people are like, we didn't know anything about it. Well, yeah, you did, right? And then, trying to brainwash somebody into go along with it. It's like, tell the stinking prostitutes and drug dealers to get on my face. And then they tell people, oh, you'll like this one. Now, we all know I was stabbed in the neck, bashed in the back of the head. Even that other girl that was dating that other agent on a Rouge told me they tried to kill me that day. Okay? Now, if it isn't 12/21/18, it's before Christmas. An illegally parked house with police surveillance. Real police surveillance of being stabbed in the neck, bashed in the back of the head, out for 6 hours, bruises all over me. Hard telling what they did to me. Someone needs to find out, because I was in a legally parked house. And see, that's where case started around the 1st of October 2018. And it happened before Christmas. Get the idea? I can find it first thing in the morning. Get the idea? See, they're so dumb. She did it to herself. No, I have a dent the size of a hammer. And I'm losing my eyesight. I have fast-growing cataracts. I'll have to have surgery. I could lose, and it's from all the pressure changing in my head that pushes the scar tissue forward. Huh? I'll tell you what, I went to get my hair dyed in January or February, and they said something about that in my head. We're at North Karen, and when they went to put the dye on my hair, it burned like hell. I couldn't take it. Yeah. Because it wasn't there when I got my hair done within 6 weeks before. You want to play that way? And it's pushed in far enough it should have killed me. And by the grace of God, it didn't. I suffered from migraines for 3 years. Stutter now when I get upset. Now, I'm going to upload this, but these strippers, prostitutes, and drug dealers run around telling you they can do all these things and the FBI is allowing them. No, they're not. And see, that's where these people show up at a courthouse down in Tuscarawas County. They should arrest them the first day, including Agent John. Because he can't be seen with them, and he can't aid and abet these crimes. And he can't be out running around with strippers and prostitutes and drug dealers and helping them run scams on people to steal from the government. And he can't tell informants they can't say anything, they don't get their money. That's a bunch of fucking bullshit. A criminal attorney, police, prosecutor's office, and on Google. No judge could sign it. Like some people said, They looked up the court order. It does only have my money and immunity. It's because the only thing a judge can sign. They can add living and housing expenses and a medical card, and that's it. Just think some prostitute could be living in a free home by the government because she's fucking Agent John. And he's paying for his prostitutes with cases. And she may be hooking out of that government apartment. Human trafficking people out of it. Better hope not Agent John, huh? Someone needs to stop him. And I don't care if it's one of the local sheriffs. Because they're obligated to obey the law. And you know agents are only cops. And not demeaning them. Or the police. But they're all police officers and that's all they are. They don't have magical powers. They're just police officers. Enough of this.